Hey guys, how's it going? This is Bill. Another episode of Hollywood Bomber. Lots of stuff going on this episode. Probably try to get the tail wheel assembled. Try to get the, keep working on the pizza box repair. Some other stuff up on the nose. Got some wires to fix. Just got a whole ton of stuff to do. And we've got a special guest coming, so that should be kind of cool. Hang on, here we go. Hey guys, here we are at the Hollywood Bomber again. Last episode I promised that I would give you a little bit of history of the aircraft and kind of where it's been, kind of let you know, kind of give you a good feeling for kind of what experience it's had in its past life. So starting off 1954, this aircraft was kind of birthed. Initial registration was 1954. The registration number was N80008 as it was floor planned off the Beech factory. Ended up being delivered to Tulsa Air in Tulsa, Oklahoma, at Tulsa International Airport, I guess it is now. I'm walking around the airplane. I'm going to spin you around. From there, the aircraft went to Williams Brothers in Tulsa, and that was in, let's see, I'm reading this off a chart here. That was November 55. No, I take it back. Yep. So it was November 55, so the aircraft, I guess, was just kind of sitting at the Tulsa Air dealership for a while, or getting prepped. Ended up being sold in late 55 to Williams Brothers Oil Exploration, and they are based in Tulsa. Williams Brothers is now Williams Company it's a group of companies now, and they're still in Tulsa, and they're still flying aircraft. In fact, we'll talk about that a little bit later, but we ended up having a visit from the Williams Company corporate team, doing some video with us and all that. So hopefully you'll see that in a later episode. So that's just a tickler for you, a teaser there. Anyway, they operated the aircraft. They got it in 55, 57. It actually went down to Venezuela, was deregistered. Originally, the registration when they bought it was N108 Whiskey Bravo, Williams Brothers. Kind of makes sense. When it went down to Venezuela, the aircraft was engaged in supporting the oil field exploration and drilling down there, so bringing in the Venezuelan oil fields at the time. At that time, it was deregistered as 108 Whiskey Bravo in the U.S., and it was re-registered Yankee Victor Papa Echo Papa Charlie in Venezuela. And all along, if anyone has any pictures of the aircraft in any of these N numbers, we would really like to get copies of that. So that'd be fabulous. We're trying to put together kind of a photo history of the aircraft, so that would be greatness. Anyway, from there it came back to the States in 58, and it became N107 Whiskey Bravo. 108 probably was on another aircraft that Williams Brothers bought or sold at the time, so it lost its original N number. So it was N108 Whiskey Bravo. Then in November of 62, the aircraft was sold. By that time, it was probably maybe not servicing the need for Williams Brothers, so they ended up selling it, or maybe they're moving up to something newer. Small company in Fort Smith, by the way, by the name of Arkansas Best Freightway, which is now ABF. This is one of their early aircraft, and it ended up garnering the N number N475 Alpha Bravo for Arkansas Best Freightway. So it was, it had a stable mate of another aircraft similar to it, another Super 18. They flew those out of Fort Smith up until 1964. So they owned it from 62 to 64, probably traded it in on maybe one of those new things called the King Air or something like that. Maybe the King Air is running out by then, maybe a Twin Bonanza. Then it went to Central Plains Enterprises. It flew there from 65 until 69. We think that maybe during that time, that's maybe when it got its photo, which we call the pizza box, but it's a photo port and all that, camera port. So we think maybe that was it. March of 69, Jackie Cochran. Jackie Cochran, I'm going to walk all over here. Again, hopefully I'm not getting you too dizzy. Jackie Cochran bought it, and it was just a personal ride for her. But Jackie Cochran, she was the original director of the WASPs, World War II WASPs. You can see we've got it painted on the side of the airplane. That was the women's Air Force service pilots, all women cadre moving aircraft around the United States. So Jacqueline Cochran, this was her private ride from 69 up until 71. She flew for about a year and a half. And as best as we can tell, the Smithsonian has the recordation, the fact that this is the last aircraft she owned, and this is the last aircraft she flew. We've got it in the aircraft logbooks. Totally cool. Got an aircraft taken off. It's going to make a little noise. Anyway, in spring of 71, and when she owned it, she had the registration number 13 Juliet Charlie, JC. So for Jackie Cochran. So she had it, she re-registered it in kind of her name with her initials. She had it for a year and a half, as we said, and then she ended up selling the aircraft to Merv Griffin, daytime talk show host, Merv Griffin, and he renumbered it, put a vanity number on it of N333 Mike Golf. So that's the way that was, and that was in spring of 71. Merv flew it quite a bit. In fact, we talked about that some, that Merv flew it and ended up having quite a few stars and celebrities, and that's one of the reasons why we renamed the program the Hollywood Bomber. So it's kind of neat. So through those doors, a whole lot of stars and starlets ended up going through. And Merv ended up running it until from 71 to 78. So he ended up having it for about 7 years. Sold it to Barney Fraser Aircraft in Long Beach. It was there not that long. Probably a broker. Merv, I assume Merv probably moved on to something bigger and faster and better. And then Barney Fraser had it for about 6 months, and then sold it to Bond Operating Company in Dallas, Texas. Bond had it, and then they renumbered it, probably because Merv wanted his number back. They renamed it 444 Golf Romeo. So it got it's a different name or different number, and then it went to Gemini Resources. That's what the Golf Romeo is all about. They were registered in Las Vegas. It flew there from 79 until 83, and then it got into a little trouble hauling some illegal drugs, and the U.S. Customs Service captured it, got it, seized it in 1983, summer of 1983. Fortunately, it's probably one of the best things that ever happened to it, because the aircraft ended up being given to the Tarrant County College in Tarrant County Junior College in Fort Worth, Texas in 1985, October of 1985. Ever since 1985, that's probably the last time it flew, is when it flew into Meacham Airport and the school got it as a maintenance trainer. So that's kind of a thing. Since 1985 up until 2019, the school had it. So you're looking at better part of almost 35 years the school had it, never flew it. So this aircraft doesn't have any flight time on it for the last 35 years. And about 2 years ago, the college moved the aircraft over to the museum here. But again, the college is not in the business of running a museum. The museum is. So the Vintage Flying Museum was gifted with the aircraft. Probably, again, the best thing that ever happened to it, based on the condition of the aircraft and what had been done to it in years past. Probably the only place that this aircraft, one of the few places in the U.S. that this aircraft will be able to become airworthy and flyable again. So that's kind of the short story on what the history of this aircraft was. Kind of neat. So it was originally lived in Tulsa, Oklahoma, Fort Smith, Arkansas, with over to Fort Smith, Arkansas, then out to California, Southern California, Los Angeles area, Palm Springs. From there over to Vegas and Dallas, and then back to Fort Worth, Texas, and it's been in Fort Worth, Texas for the last 35 years. So that's the history of the Hollywood Bomber, the short bit. If you guys have any questions, or if you have any, I'll tell you what, we're trying to get any pictures you guys have. If you have any pictures, anything like that, please comment below. If you got something, we'll figure out a way to get it to us. But we'd love to have a scan, a copy, a picture, whatever, PDF, JPEG of this aircraft, and if you know when and where it was taken, man, that'd be awesome too. So that's the history of the Hollywood Bomber. Let's go check out what's going on in the shop this weekend. Okay, we'll see what the kids are doing on the engine. So we'll walk past Richard here. He's happy putting rudder things together. Okay. Okay, ladies, what are we working on?
Hey.
That includes you, Nate, Nick.
We're trying to get the hose off.
Yeah, the hose is rotten, old. So what they're doing is they're taking, you can see here, Nick.
Yeah.
Nick. Nick's new to the crew, and so am I. But this stuff is probably 40 years old, at least. And it's just dry rotted. So anyway, they're getting all new hose on it, and again, getting this engine all done. What's the name of this engine? Remember the names?
Nope.
Yes, it starts with R.
No.
Oh, that.
It's Jackie or Merv. This is the one on the left, so
Oh,
this
this one's Jackie.
This one's Jackie. You're working on Jackie, the other
Yeah.
one's Merv.
Yeah.
And they're both being problematic, so, okay. Back to it, kids. Here we go. Let's see what's going on in the hangar today. Okay, Richard. Why aren't those rudders on, buddy?
I haven't found the right bolts.
That's right. Well, I got the right bolts.
Well, you do.
No, over there. Which ones are you looking for?
4-13s.
I think I pulled that 12s, 13s. I think I got a bag for you.
13.
13? Cool. And that's assuming the parts manual is right. Yeah, okay.
Of course it is.
Exactly. So anyway, Richard's kicking it. He's putting the puzzle back together. But he's got the push rods in. You got both push rods in.
Push rods are in.
And so the rudders are getting ready to go on. This plane is getting heavier.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll go bother someone else.
Thank you.
Okay, I'm going to bother you now. I'm bothering these guys. See what's going on with the pizza box. Okay, Joey, what's going on, brother?
So we got our doubler plate. We fixed that up last week, I think. But today we're doing our skin patch portion. So just one more step to finish spot. We're described the exact outline of our pizza box hole. So we'll finish that.
That's for the doubler insert.
Yep.
Okay, cool. So they're going to get that, and then after that, Joey's going to figure out. We've got some new old stock string material, and then we'll figure that and do the splice repair. And then hopefully next week or two, this will be shot in for good, and the right hand starboard belly will be completely clean of holes and corrosion. Completely done, right? What's that?
There's one more we found.
You found another hole? Is that for the potty?
No, I don't know what it's for. Just a little.
The little one? I think that's for the potty drain.
Okay.
Okay, so we got to do another double or dollar dime?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Other than that, the right floor's gone, or ready to go. Okay, out. Let's see what Everett's doing on the number one engine, Jackie. Okay, Bob, what you doing, Chief?
I'm cleaning off grease.
Grease and slime. He's getting all of the getting the back of the dish pan. This big stainless piece here. He's getting that all cleaned off. The firewall was absolutely caked with it. So now that the magnetos are off, he's getting that off. And now you're getting in all the nooks and crannies and all that stuff. So it's looking pretty good. The how are the engine mount tubes? They look okay? Nothing other than scratch paint?
Looks a little surface rust. But
Okay, so we'll probably next time we'll sand that off next time and get that out of here. Okay, man, get to it. Keep going.
Bill and Roger, what are you doing?
Well, we are removing a bird's nest from our oil cooling duct.
Maybe
and
two.
This is how much
This
bird's
is
nest
just
we've removed.
out of
The one duct.
one duct for the oil cooler. So you can see what we have here. This is absolute rubbish. So it's do we need a vacuum cleaner up there?
I think we need to.
Probably jump back.
Yes.
Okay, so that's what's going on here, kids.
Our bird has been building nests for a while.
In the trash. Okay, Nick is working on the elevator trim. See how he's going along on that. See what he's discovered. The biggest thing is, okay, Nick, talk to us. What do you got going on, brother?
there's a chain system from the cockpit that leads underneath the fuselage up to the tail.
Right, so there's a little chain up at the front by the wheel,
Yep.
and then it goes cables all the way back, and then it turns the chains back here.
Yep, there are two sets of gears right
Yep.
before it goes up. Those two gears are basically rusted together.
Oh,
And,
okay.
And the chain is jammed, and then the chain goes up to another set of gears, and then in the middle,
Yeah.
then there's a set of gears.
How are
right-
the upper gears? Are the upper gears rusty
I
too?
can't tell.
Okay,
because
not
I
yet.
can't see them very well.
Yeah.
And there's a gear right here that leads to
The tech drive shafts.
The drive shafts, yes.
Drive shafts, yeah.
And it's very hard to access because this panel is so small. If it comes out to here,
That'd be
I
better.
could be able to access it. Right now, it's digging my hand in the back in order to try to lubricate and clean.
So
that
anyway, this is episode 1 of Trim Tab, elevator trim tab, and then yeah, there's a a little drive shaft that comes over here to a 90-degree box. That goes through a universal joint. That goes to a jack screw. That goes to the actual trim tab down here. ×2, left and right. So anyway, Nick's working it.
It's a pain.
This will be part one of many. So, okay, man. Looking good.
Thank you.
Hi.
Hey, how's it going, Kaylin?
How are you guys?
Okay, we
Doing
are
great.
grease and bearing. Okay, so this is a bearing packer. This is another way of doing it. You can either do it in your hand
Yep.
or use a super duper packer. So
Pop
stick
that
it in
on
there. Cone, put that down.
Yeah.
Push like there's no bit. Put all your weight in it, and you'll see it squish out the top.
Yeah, right.
Come on, man. Put some weight into it. What'd you have for breakfast? You got anything coming out? Look at that.
Hey.
Hold on, let's get a zoom in shot.
Yeah, see?
There we go, all packed.
We got grease.
And now, yeah, you just want to make sure you have grease coming out. all
None
the way
over there,
around.
yeah.
Then pull it out.
I'm not done yet.
Okay.
Okay.
It's coming out. Okay,
Yep.
so cool. So now we come take it out. And when I do, we're a plastic bag. Nick, you got that plastic bag?
Yeah.
We had a nice clean one.
Oh, nice clean one. Okay.
Nice clean one.
Sterilized one.
Okay, now we're not putting these in today. We're going to put them in next week. Okay.
Correct.
So Nick, hang on to the bag.
Got the bag.
Hang on to
Okay.
the bag. Okay.
Okay.
Bearing. Bearing number 2.
Barry is the genius on this now. It's childproof
It is.
because you know whoever's going to be putting bearings in is
A child.
a child. You don't want kids playing with wheel bearings.
No.
Here, he's got a knife. There you go.
Here.
Cut it open.
Never mind.
You got it?
Yeah.
Give me the
You
wrapper.
take
Get it
that.
out of here.
Take that. Drop
Put it in
that
like-
in there.
do it
Take
like a-
this.
Do it like a boss, man.
Like a pro.
Come on. Hey, your feet are off the ground. What's the deal?
Well.
Did you have dessert for lunch?
Not yet.
No, that's
Out
it.
of every hole.
That's money. That's money.
Here we go. Perfecto. Perfecto.
Okay. Number the next. Into the bag. Nick, the bag. Okay. Gooey.
We're done.
We're done. That's
Ready?
it.
We'll
Bearings.
assemble next week.
Yep. Assemble next week. More part 2 of the tail wheel tire next week. Okay. Let's see you do a roundup of what went on in the shop this weekend or this week. Real quick, we had Haley and Nick. They ended up replacing a lot of these oil hoses. Got these rags drying out. Oil hoses, upper and lower, getting the old ones off of both the firewall and the engine, replacing those, putting those on all with new clamps. We're pretty sure these may have to change because we're getting not only a pre-oiler system but an oil filter system. So, but this is if that doesn't make, then these hoses will be perfect. So that's what's going on there. Everett came in, and Everett and Scout, they ended up cleaning this whole area out, cleaning the back of the dish pan. This is all full of gray slime. This has all been cleaned and scrubbed and all that, so it's looking pretty good. Engine mount tubes are cleaned up. So these will be probably next week. We'll end up sanding these and getting those painted with some silver paint, make them look a little better. That's what's going on there. So the engine is coming along quite nice, quite nice. Got something taxiing along. I guess that's a jet out there. That's a loud jet. What is that thing? Let's see. Oh, it's just a little something. Richard is about ready to hang the rudders. We've got all the hardware. He's got all the hardware set. Everything's lubricated. He's got the push rods in and all that for the rudders. So this is all done, airworthy, ready to go. So this is looking fabulous. So absolutely awesome. So that will basically put the rudders on, done, airworthy, complete. So that's all going to be greatness. Got all new screws painted, ready to go on. Elevator is giving us trouble, similar to what the rudders gave us. We're trying to loosen up the trim system. There's a bicycle chain affair going into some 90-degree tack drive type gearbox type things, and we're working on loosening those up. This being the back of the airplane where all the water ran down to, it's rusted up. Looks like we're gonna have to take some parts off. So this may be our problem child, our next problem child, as far as getting that interior. The structure looks good. All the cables look good. It's just this bicycle chain affair, being kind of bare steel, is did not do well with the weather. So that's our biggest deal right now with the horizontal stabilizer. So that's what's going on there. Walking over here, go to the other arm. Caitlin ended up getting this patch. This is riveted on. This was holding us up from keeping the tail wheel structurally installed. We're going to kind of hold off on the tail wheel because we need to get the bicycle chain, and that's up in the roof of the tail wheel compartment. So, but we've got 4 pull rivets we're going to put in, and then then actually the landing gear can go in, and that's looking pretty good. Barry has all of the, you saw that where Barry has the bearings on the wheel all set up, so they're ready to go in next week. We need a little bit of talcum powder for the tube, then that'll go in. Going along here, what else is going on here? Let's see, Joey's got the pizza box repair, he's got the external doubler, he's got the internal doubler done and the fill skin scribe, so we're gonna get that cut this week and get that going. So that's looking good. Nothing much going on in here. Up here, Kevin and Cindy ended up getting the vacuum pump. When we took the vacuum pump off, the shear section, part of that got stuck in the engine, so they pulled the quill out, cleaned it up, it ended up releasing. That's all ready to go. We need a gasket, and then that can be put back on that engine, that'll be a good thing. So that's going on. Let's go on over here. In fact, let me show you that. So I'm gonna zip over here. So this is the quill that'll go back in the engine, but we need the gasket for the backside. As soon as we have that, boom, we'll be in good shape. So we're almost there on that. That'll seal up that vacuum pump pad, and that'll eliminate any need for get rid of the vacuum system. On this firewall here, Darren and Roger got the oil cooler in. This is a fresh overhauled oil cooler, all yellow tagged. That's in. It's got all new clamps on it, all new hardware. So everything's good there. That's the duct they ended up getting all the crap out of. So all the bird, in fact, not only was it bird nest, it was oil soaked bird nest. So it's been in there a while. So that's kind of a thing. Nick and Haley got the hoses, all new hoses on this, fresh rubber on this. That's looking good. That cleaned up. We're going to put a plug in here for the vacuum system. That'll be essentially secured and gone away. So that's good. Barry we got a clip off of here. We got to make a new clip for the ignition harness. We got to make that. So that's all set up. That's looking pretty good. Let's see what else is going on. On the door jamb, the left door jamb, Kate found some corrosion on the left door jamb, so we took that out, that former, and that will be get that strip cleaned up and all that, and then it'll just be reinstalled. So it's pretty well ready to go. So that's it for this episode of Hollywood Bomber. Everything's coming along pretty well. It's great to see that so much progress is being made. We had a great team. In fact, we had the Christmas lunch today. So even with that going on this weekend, the crew just got a whole ton of stuff done. So keep marching on. Everything's looking good. Next week we should have our fuel flow system should be arriving. Our trying to think what else, and then our pre-oiler system should be arriving. So we'll do a box opening on those and show you what that's all about. Oil filter kit is getting ordered. That should be going. We got a couple other things cooking, so that's what's happening on this end. Hollywood Bomber out.